Let's talk about marking the market for futures contracts. All right, here we have gold. I'm going to take a long position in gold, which means I'm going to buy, not today, but at some point in the future, I'm going to buy gold. It's 2 contracts worth. The contract size is 100 ounces, and the price quote is in dollars per ounce. All right, the clearinghouse or the exchange is going to set an initial margin of 8,800 and the maintenance margin of 8,000. So I bought 2 contracts. I shouldn't say I bought, I entered 2 contracts. So 2 times 8,800, that is my initial margin here of 17,600. Okay, so one day goes by, the price of gold goes up from 1350 to 1360. First question, is that good news for me? And the answer is yes, it is good news. I have the obligation to buy at 1350, so at some point I'm buying at 1350, it's worth 1360, so it's gone up $10. So I made $10 times 2 contracts times 100 ounces per contract, which means I've made $2,000. So now I have in my margin account, instead of 17,600, 19,600. I feel good. The next day, the price of gold plummets. It goes down $20, in which case, that's bad news for me because now I have to buy this at $13.50, and right now it's only worth $13.40, so it's dropped 20 bucks times 2 contracts times 100 ounces of contract. It's gone down $4,000. So my total in my margin account is 15,600. Well, what's my maintenance margin? The maintenance margin set by the exchange is $8,000, so 2 contracts times $8,000 a contract is equal to $16,000. I don't have $16,000 in my margin account. I get a call, I have to put money back in the margin account to hit this initial margin, so I have to go back to 17,600. It pulls me back to $2,000. Okay, so that's if I'm long the contract. Now let me clear this off and I'll show you what happens if you're short the same contract. Okay, I want you to notice here that futures are what we call a zero-sum game. So it's called a zero-sum game. That's because if I win, you lose. If you lose, I win. So here is what we had before, where you're long 2 contracts for gold. Here I have the guy that's short 2 contracts for gold. So this is the guy long, this is the guy that's short. And look at their daily gain and loss. They're exactly opposite of each other because this guy's agreed to buy, this guy's agreed to sell. Good news for one is bad news for the other. So the first day the price goes up $10. I want to sell this thing for, I'm obligated at $13.50, and now I could sell at $13.60. So I've lost $10 a contract times 2 contracts times $100. I've lost $2,000. And my margin account has gone down below the maintenance margin. Once again, the maintenance margin is $16,000 and the initial margin is $17,600. So I have to put in $2,000 to come back to my original initial margin. And now the price goes down $20. That's good news for me because I'm short. So rather than selling at $13.60, it's like selling at $13.40. That means I make $4,000. And now my cumulative, now it moves me back up to 21,600. My cumulative gain is now $2,000. So here's kind of the process of this. Let's say you're the guy who is long, and say this contract is for delivery. Gold contracts for delivery virtually every month for I think the next 3 years. So let's just say this was for January 2014 delivery. Now just because you enter long doesn't mean you have to keep that position. So we go through and we come up to Friday and we'll look at Friday and say, you know what, we're up $31 times 2 contracts times 100. I'm up $6,200 in a week. So I put up 17,600 on Monday, and today I have total value of $23,800. Now the reason that's $25,800 is because you put in $2,000 of your own money, but you've increased your wealth by $6,200 in a month. You want to lock that in. What you do is you go short. So you go short 2 contracts for January 2014 delivery, and now remember, you don't have a contract with somebody on the other side, some individual. You have a contract with the clearinghouse. So now you're short delivery in January and you're long delivery in January. So the clearinghouse matches you with yourself and says deliver to yourself, and essentially it's a wash. So you pocket the $6,200 right then. The same thing if you had been short and we come down to August 21st, we come down to Wednesday, you say, you know what, now I've made some money, I want to stop right there. You can go long. That's called unwinding the trade. Spell unwind. So at any point you want to, you can unwind your trade and you can lock in your gains and losses. And the important thing there is, just in case you don't remember, the long position and the short, those two guys agree on a price for delivery at some point in the future, but they're concerned that they can't trust each other. So the clearinghouse comes in between them, and the clearinghouse says, I will guarantee, Mr. Short, I'll guarantee that Mr. Long here executes on the contract regardless of price, and the same thing, Mr. Long, I'll guarantee you can trust Mr. Short. So really the contracts are between these guys right here. So that protects you against counterparty risk, which means at any time that you want to, you can unwind the contract and lock in your gains or lock in your losses. But this is how you calculate the margin, and it's going to be important that you withstand any margin calls that you have. This example is for gold. Every commodity is different. It's going to have different contract size. For example, oil is 1,000 barrels, corn is 5,000 bushels, and it's going to have different initial margin, different maintenance margin, but the mechanics are essentially the same.